You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris. Good Free Flag Friday to you, sir.
That's such a great thing to say.
It really is.
Friday.
It is. Free Flag Friday.
You know, John and Heidi, I've been kicking around this crazy business for about 4 decades now.
Yeah.
Done a lot of promotions.
Yeah.
Giving away cars, giving away trips, giving away tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah, probably the most incredible radio promotion ever heard. Caller number 7, 6-pack and a pound.
Don't say that, because now somebody's going to call and try to get
that's
that.
That's it, because that's
We're not
just
doing that.
Darn good radio, isn't it?
It sure is.
But every Friday we give away a flag.
An American flag.
Yes, we
well,
do.
a flag that you choose, I guess, a flag.
Yeah.
Fantastic flag. Made right here in the great United States of America.
Oh, yeah.
Jen, I just like that promotion a lot. It happens to be National Podcast Day.
Oh, hey.
We've talked about this a lot.
Reminds me, I
John,
need to
you
find
and
a
I
guest
off
for my podcast.
Yeah. Everybody on the podcast today is going, oh, we really need a guest. It's National Podcast Day. Probably what the biggest podcast got to be Joe Rogan, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
About 12 million subscribers to that guy.
I've been watching news radio. He was not in the pilot episode, by the way, but he was on right after that. And,
I had completely forgotten Joe Rogan was on.
and his name
Absolutely.
on there was Joe.
And Andy Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Andy did.
Andy was Matthew.
There were
a great
some
show.
players.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I'll tell you, Joe Rogan cracks me up on there. He's the electrician, which
Yep.
I'm not sure why he was hanging around the radio station all the time. Shouldn't he have been the engineer?
Yeah, you'd think he'd be the engineer.
Yeah.
He's like, he's the electrician. I'm like, wait a minute, why is he an electrician?
If you're not familiar with the series News Radio, it is pretty tight.
It was good.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Pretty tight. So there you go. National Podcast Day. But up. Celebrating birthdays. Not quite today. But her mother went into labor actually starting, I don't know, would have been the day before. Well, it was for about 41 hours in labor. My daughter Sadie Hayes actually turns, has
So
a
your
birthday
son's
tomorrow.
Oh,
and
their
your daughter's
birthdays are
birthday are
close
like boom, boom.
to each other.
Yeah, we tried to, because my son Luke's birthday was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sadie Hayes is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Oh, but we're not doing a show tomorrow because it's a weekend.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was trying to figure out why in the world are we talking about
Yeah,
that?
so they are 2 years and 2 days apart.
Nice.
I tried to make it on the exact same day, but the missus wouldn't cooperate. Was not our first argument. Nor would it be our last.
I hear you. I understand.
So happy birthday a day to
Yes.
them.
I've met both of them, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. You make good people, Dan. You
Thank
make
you,
very
John.
good people.
Appreciate that very much. Eric Stoltz. He was Rocky Dennis in Mask with Cher.
Yes, he was.
And he was Marty
That's
McFly for a short while.
Yeah.
Recast as Michael J. Fox.
You know, he was also Lance in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that's right.
And he didn't look anything like he did in Mask. I don't
Yeah.
know if they put makeup on him for Pulp Fiction.
It
or
was
what.
pretty impressive makeup, actually. I think that's great what they were able to do with it.
It was pretty incredible. Pulled it off well. Eric Stoltz is 61 today.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy moly, Rocky. Barry William Blankhorn is 68.
Is he
Which is-
Greg Brady?
Yes.
Yeah.
John,
How
I'm
did you
impressed.
know that?
He goes by Barry Williams.
That's a true story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, but no idea until today that I knew his real last name was Blankhorn.
Yeah, Barry Blankhorn.
He is 68 today, and the nanny, Fran Drescher, is 65.
Did I talk to Barry on this program? I think I did.
Probably.
Very well.
Probably
I'm
his
pretty sure I
cousin.
did.
Second cousin, twice
Okay.
removed.
They're making fun of me because I've got Dolly Parton's sister
Stella.
on the program coming up soon.
Her name's Stella.
And I've talked to Lou Ferrigno's son, Michelle Pfeiffer's sister, Julia Roberts' brother.
John only does big name interviews.
The lineup is amazing.
No, but they're all celebrities as well. You guys don't understand.
It is pretty funny.
Dolly Parton's sister is an actress. That's why I'm talking to her. I'm not talking to her about Dolly at all.
That's fantastic.
I'm going to be over here if you need me.
Frank Stallone's high school
I did.
prom date.
I talked to Frank Stallone as well. Yes. Wow. Starting to sound like I've got a problem.
Maybe.
Oh, God.
Oh, a little taste of history here. Great stuff. It changed the world, every darn one of these little items. It was 1841. Holy moly, really? Samuel Slocum, out of Poughkeepsie, New York, patents the stapler.
Oh, nice.
Ah,
Up until then, papers were blowing all over the place.
Yeah, they had to use nails.
which was super awkward.
The stapler, which, a lot of people don't even use those anymore, but the movie Office Space would not have been the same without Milton and his stapler.
They
Milton
didn't
was
even...
my favorite character.
By the way, Milton plays the boss on News Radio, the same guy.
Stephen Root.
Yeah. Now, did you know that the company that has the red stapler in that movie didn't even sell a red stapler until that movie, and now it's their best-selling stapler?
Of course it is.
Isn't that crazy?
It was huge. Yeah, Stephen Root, of course, you mentioned he was in
News Radio.
News Radio. And also in one of my favorite movies, Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah, he was in Dodgeball.
He's so great.
He's fantastic. He should be on the $20 bill.
I'm going to see if I can line up an interview with him.
Can you see a picture of Milton on the $20 bill with his little stapler?
I believe you have my stapler.
Yeah, it was 1846. Anesthetic ether used for the very first time by American dentist Dr. William Morton. He was extracting a tooth. Before that, I think you just sucked down whiskey or something.
It was some booze, They're like, here you go.
2 shots of this will yank these teeth out.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a little dental, the best of the best, you want to go see our good friend Dr. Yvonne DeWitt over at
Absolutely.
I just got a message. It's time for me to schedule something.
So there you go. And finally, in 1960, the Stones premiere on ABC.
The Rolling Stones?
The Flintstones.
Oh. That makes more sense.
It was earth-shattering stuff. It was the first animated series that actually ran in prime time.
Yeah. It was for adults.
Yeah, it was in prime time. Well, it's kind of a takeoff on the old Honeymooners with Jackie Gleason.
You know who was originally supposed to be the voice of Barney?
Do not.
The guy who was on who played Wilbur on Mr. Ed.
Oh,
the guy that played.
Really?
Yeah, I got to meet him at an event, and he was talking about back then. He was cast as Wilbur, and they wanted him to be the voice of Barney, and he's like, I can't. I already have a job, and he didn't realize he could have done both.
One of the strangest things that I saw growing up, and of course there was all this controversy back in the day, and there's a reason, you can't see tobacco products like cigarettes advertised on television anymore.
Yeah, right.
Since the late 70s.
It's like they're saying, well, this Joe Camel character for Kales, it's inducing children to smoke, blah, 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 blah. I can remember as a kid in the 60s, Flintstones, right?
Yeah.
Loved the Flintstones.
They
It was a big deal.
They
Fred
had
and
commercials.
Barney were representing Winston cigarettes.
Yeah,
They were sneaking out behind the house and smoking.
There's on YouTube. You can see the commercials.
True
That
story.
is so crazy.
Okay, so and then we used to have the debate when we got older. Considering they were two-dimensional animated characters, but still, who was hotter, Betty or Wilma?
Betty.
Yes, thank you, Heidi. I did not expect you to chime in, but
well, I'm not going to say a word over here.
yeah, Betty was she was all right.
She was way prettier.
Oh, Barney was punching way out of his weight class.
Oh,
really
for
was.
sure.
Thank you, Dan.
Glad we could have this conversation.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, you are. Hey, I know, we all know way too much. We can just bounce ahead.
Going to do that. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many of our guests. This year, we have more icons and more fun. Culture Club, The Cult, Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Graham, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort in Cancun, Mexico. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Sunday 93.3. Super excited to visit with Shane from SiouxperCon. Shane, how you doing, sir?
I am great, John. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Today is the big day. Tomorrow and Sunday, it's a busy, busy weekend. You got a lot of fun stuff. What time do things kick off this afternoon for SiouxperCon?
Well, so we will open the doors at 2. Vendor hall opens at 3. The video games and board game rooms will be open right away at 2 o'clock. You'll be able to start spending money and buying things that you won't find anywhere else in Sioux Falls at 3 o'clock.
That is awesome. And the schedule is at SiouxperCon.com. I'll throw a link to that to make it really easy to find. What are some of the highlights? If you only had a couple of minutes to tell people, here's why you got to come to SiouxperCon, what would you say are the highlights this year?
Well, for sure, the appearance of actor Jim Beaver. He played Bobby Singer on Supernatural. He was the bartender on Deadwood. He is the president on Amazon The Boys. He was the sheriff in Justified. He's, to get someone like that to come into Sioux Falls, we're really excited about that. He's going to do 2 shows. He'll be doing photos with the Supernatural Impala throughout the weekend. Actor Matt Lintz, which I think is really cool. He just played Bruno on Miss Marvel, was Henry on The Walking Dead. I think this is fun for people our age, John. You can watch The Never-Ending Story with Atreyu himself, actor Noah Hathaway, which is just a blast. You'll get to watch that with him and have a question and answer after. For Disney fans, we have Mike and Patty Perazza. They created Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, Tailspin. They were the directors of Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, the animated. They brought animation back to Disney. They designed Cars Land, so they're going to be here. Those are some of our funner guests. Oh, Jason from Friday the 13th will be in full costume to have pictures with him.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Very
He
cool.
was, so lots of celebrities, 75 vendors, game room, cosplay, you name it, we've got it.
There's a lot of stuff, and I know it's a busy day for you, so I don't want to take a lot of your time. Again, SuperCon this weekend. Shane, thank you for taking the time to chat, but thank you also for all that you do and the entire team do to put on this amazing event.
Thank you so much, John.
Absolutely. Again, SuperCon, it's today, it's tomorrow, it's Sunday. Doors open officially, the exhibitor hall, everything at 3 p.m. today. You can get in at 2 if you want, but 3 is when all the big stuff happens. Wrestling at 5, After Dark at 8, and then it all starts again tomorrow. We'll be out there broadcasting all weekend. Keep listening for all the details on Sunny 93.3.
If you watch the news, you've probably heard about interest rate hikes and other financial factors that could make you a bit nervous. At BetterCreditCards.com, we continue our commitment to help you get a better credit card. On the website, BetterCreditCards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Dan, what do you find interesting on this Free Flag Friday?
Giving away a free flag from our good friends Mark and Sarah, the crew at Maximum Promotions, right over there on Northwest Avenue, by the arena. It's a beautiful 3x5 foot flag.
Stunning.
Flagpole hardware. And you get to pick out whatever is in stock. And that size kit, it doesn't necessarily have to be, Old Glory, but that would be nice.
That's my fave.
Other options available.
It's the number one hit.
Kind of cool. Congratulations this Free Flag Friday to Amy Servold.
Nice.
Woo!
Congratulations, Amy.
Shoot you a little official certificate in the mail for that, Amy. You can go pick that up and fly it with pride. How's that?
Nice. Very, very cool.
I'm going to revisit something that we talked about a little earlier. We were talking about the Flintstones. Which one was hotter?
Which one?
Goodness.
Fred, okay, Wilma or Betty, who was hotter? Yeah.
Heidi said Betty.
So I'm remembering a phrase that was said in the 90s. Whenever you saw somebody beautiful, they were like, what a Betty.
You think that's
Remember
why?
that?
Wow.
Is it from Betty?
Wow.
Well, I'll Google that while Dan tells us what he finds interesting.
My guess is it was between Betty Rebel and Betty Boop.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't there a pinup girl
Betty
named
Boop
Betty something too who
Either
actually
way,
existed?
we're talking cartoons.
Huh.
Betty was a popular term used in the 1980s as a slang for a
80s.
pretty woman, often paired with surf ahead of it, referring to the groups of girls who would hang around the beach and later skate park as skate Betties.
Skate Betties.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
But why Betty?
Yeah.
Because that has not
Exactly.
been answered.
You know, the origin's important here, John.
Right. That's what
All right,
we're referring to.
I'm going to keep working on this.
You go, John.
Oh. It got its roots in 1970, stemming from the Flintstones character Betty Rebel.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Wow, Heidi.
That was impressive. I've got chills.
See, before he nailed that, I was going to go, or could it have been Betty from the Archies, Betty and Veronica?
Oh, yeah?
That was always a debate, too. Same thing.
Wasn't my mom a total Betty?
I'll be darned.
That was in a movie Clueless.
Yep.
Well, look at that.
I'll be darned.
Well, thank you. I found that interesting, Dan.
I'm
oh wait, that's
very
not
oddly
right.
proud of myself.
Hey, by the way, Dan, you got that to compete with right now, or you could just throw in the towel.
No, I had something completely different, but good call. Actually, all you probably need to know, and this coming up tomorrow and over the course of the weekend, 3 huge events going on. Premier Center, Howard Wood Field, Arena, all that stuff. So parking is going to be insane.
Yeah, I'll be at the at SuperCon today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
And you've got the marching band thing going on, 287 million bands from...
So they're going to be a bunch of band
That's
people coming
going
to see
on.
us at SuperCon. Nice.
And then there's a big country show going on at the Premier Center. that evening too. So
A
parking
country
is
show. So some country folk coming to see us at SiouxperCon.
it's Thomas Rhett, country singer Thomas
Okay.
Rhett, along with Parker McCollum and Connor Smith,
Nice.
performing Firing Up at 7:30.
Well, very
So
cool.
again, the parking thing's going to be
It's going to be a challenge.
I might just have Heidi drop me off and come back and pick me up.
really crazy. Now, with all three of those events, the Premier Center is actually using its social media platforms to get the word out about your best strategies for parking.
Oh, really?
The best strategy would be just to have somebody drop you off and
Yeah.
pick you up.
Or you use Uber or Lyft. They love that, by the way. They love it.
Yeah, so crazy stuff. That Betty thing, though, man, that was awesome.
Good
That's
job.
impressive. I know.
That's-
Sorry, Dan. I
that's
found
really
Heidi's
great.
more interesting. Boo! Boo!
No, she gets, I think, for the first time in 4 years, Employee of the Month.
She actually...
It's usually me.
And Heidi actually brought something to the table for the show today. Usually she's over there playing Candy Crush. So,
Winging office supplies at us.
yeah. Well, thank you, Dan.
Wow, fantastic.
And thank you, Heidi. I found that interesting.
Thank you.
By the way, I'm positive no one really cares one way or the other, but I'm going to be gone for
That's
about
right.
for about a
Taking
week or so.
Yeah.
vacation.
Little hiatus, the Dan Ferris bonus hour,
Yeah.
which is,
We're going to just
well, it's
talk
bonus.
about you all next
It's
week.
you can do that. We're weighing on some. So in the interim, I have a fantastic, prosperous, blessed weekend, and next week I'll catch up with you guys down the line.
Sounds
Fantastic.
good. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
While other wireless companies raise their prices, Mint Mobile has taken a different approach. You can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Let's say that again so you hear it right. $15 a month for unlimited premium wireless. Why would we do that? Because we can. If you're paying too much for your wireless phone, it's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, September 30th, 2022. Bearish momentum is building on Wall Street. Wednesday's market rebound was nothing more than a blip on the radar, possibly driven by short covering, as traders and investors continue to move to cash. The move comes just a day before a fresh read of the PCE price index and puts the S&P 500 at a new 22-month low. Assuming the PCE index comes out as expected, the sell-off could easily gain momentum and take the market down to the 3,500 level or lower. The PCE index is expected to come in at 0.5% month over month and 4.7% year over year, which are both an acceleration from the previous month and a new high for the year over year comparison. The takeaway is the market is expecting the worst and the data could be hotter than predicted. Regardless, the data is in support of a hawkish FOMC, so investors should be prepared for at least another 50 basis point interest rate hike at the next meeting, if not another 75 basis point hike. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.